Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the Iron Man profile. It's been a while. Unfortunately, I got like ridiculously sick for literally like 15 days. Still a little stuffy, but basically near the end of it now. Yeah, it was pretty bad for a while, but we're doing better. So I apologize for no uploads the last couple weeks, but we're finally getting back into the swing of things, and we actually have a lot to talk about. The alpha server is currently open with honestly a lot of really interesting changes and things that might grief our future money making method, which is just terrific because I was just about to start making money from it and now they're taking it away. So we have a lot to talk about today. If you're excited for that and the videos being back, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Super quickly though, if you do ever find yourself checking out in the Hypixel store for the brand new Silverfish fire sale skin that starts tomorrow, this thing honestly looks pretty cool. It's kind of like ice themed. It's called the Cyberfish, or Silverfish, basically. I have no idea what they're trying to get at with that, but it looks really interesting. And we also have the seasonal bundle still going on, obviously. Whatever you find yourself picking up, though, don't forget to use my career code on checkout. It is code Zach, spelled just like my name, Z-A-C-H. If you type that on checkout, you actually save 5% on your purchase. It's a great way to support myself and the channel, and I do greatly appreciate everyone using my code. Now, without further ado, let's talk about these changes, because this kind of changes our plans moving forward. So the first thing I want to cover on the alpha server is probably the most exciting if you're an Iron Man player, and that is the addition of the RNG meter to the experimentation table. This has been something that's been rumored for a very, very long time. And it's finally here. Basically, every single like enchant, max level enchant, you can select on the RNG meter and work towards, which is ridiculous. So the one I've selected, obviously, and I will have selected on the main server is Looting 5. This is probably the best enchant that you can get on a Iron Man profile. Literally increases your chance of dropping like a bunch of rare drops in the game. So this is the one we're going to want to get first. But how it basically works, I don't know how the exact calculation, but every time you do your experimentation table, basically, when you get enchanting XP, it helps fill up your meter. Except for it's not exactly like if you get 640,000 enchanting XP per se. That's not how much score you get. I don't know how they have it calculated. But yeah, reaching 100% will guarantee it to drop, which is really cool. So if you are at 100%, make sure you have all your possible clicks in case they have it like hidden at the bottom and you waste like your whole meter. It's gonna be really interesting how that works and like what it's like when you go ahead and claim one. So that's gonna be really cool. Maybe you guys have enough XP to kind of test it here on the alpha server. I do not. But yeah, they also just went ahead and cleaned up the UI a little bit, add this cool little nameplate above that says experimentation table. And once you do all your super pairs for the day, it actually has a little timer above saying how long until you can do more pairs. So pretty cool stuff. This is massive for Iron Man players. I can't wait to hopefully get my hands on like all these enchants and max out like a day axe, my hype, my term. There's a lot of max level enchants that I really need from this thing. So really good addition. Really happy about this, and hopefully we can start pulling in some max level enchants a little bit faster now. The next thing I want to talk about is actually a brand new location in the Dwarven Mines. If we head on over to the Station Master, there's a new location called the Abandoned Quarry, a quarry once bustling with riches and promise, now left to the depths. So if we make our way over there, there's a couple pieces of content they've added that are rather interesting. I mean, first of all, just a new location is always fun. It actually looks pretty cool. Here's like the main area where you get in. And then over here, we kind of have this massive water source down below where you can do some fishing. There's a brand new sea creature, which we'll talk about and hopefully catch in a second. But there's also these quartz veins, like massive quartz veins, which is amazing because I kind of get memed for it. But back in the day when we had to mine all the quartz for our Terminator, it took me a little bit longer than I'd like to admit. And this should speed up the process dramatically. So yeah, expect maybe the grind for a second term to be sooner rather than later. And I also saw something about a new fairy soul. There it is. Okay, so yeah, brand new fairy soul there at the bottom. I don't know if there's more than that one. We can actually check in our Skyblock, or actually in our quest guide. Let's go back. Quest log. That is our 248th fairy soul. So yeah, one new fairy soul right at the bottom there if you want to know where it is. But let's try and catch this brand new sea creature and see what it's all about. Okay, and on our second cast, we already caught it. A large mithril grubber. So let's go ahead and kill that. We unlocked the bestiary, and by doing so, we received 1,000 mithril powder. That's actually pretty decent. I'm going to be honest. It maxes at 300 bestiary, which is pretty cool. And yeah, okay, so there are actually 4 different kinds of mithril grubbers. I also believe you can start catching this at fishing level 6. But yeah, there's the regular mithril grubber, then we have the medium mithril grubber, the large, and the bloated. And basically the difference is the amount of drops you get from each one. So for example, the Regular one, for example, gives 50 to 250 mithril powder, where the bloated one gives 1,000 to 5,000, which is actually pretty good. And you have a 20% chance from each one you kill dropping an enchanted mithril, some raw fish, as well as some regular mithril. But honestly, not a terrible way to get some of your beginner powder, especially because it's only fishing level 6. They only have 10,000 health. Yeah, coming down here, this is a pretty chill spot to fish and get some of your, I mean, like 1,000 to 5,000, like, mithril powder actually goes a really long way at the beginning, so not terrible. There's another one, so I guess it's not incredibly rare. There's another 250 mithril powder. There's also a rare drop that you can fish up here, which is called the speckled teacup, which is an item that you need to bring to Bryn Mawr, who's an NPC. Is he over here? Or here's the brand new guard. Ticketmaster. Where is Bryn Mawr, actually? Let me go find him. Okay, so Bryn Mawr is the NPC that kind of sells all the consumables. What is going on with Bauman over here? Okay, but here he is. And this is where you can buy the chilled pristine potato. You got their filet of fortune and the powdered pumpkins. But you need this brand new item that you can fish up to actually get his Abbey phone contact. So yeah, I'm not sure how rare it is to fish up. I'm not going to sit here and fish it up on the alpha server because I'm going to have to do that on the main server. But yeah, some more Skyblock XP. It should give 10 Skyblock XP for a brand new Abbey phone contact. We go ahead and double check really quickly. There he is. Yep, plus 10 Skyblock XP for adding his contact. So that's pretty cool. And just being able to call him whenever you need to buy, like, where it's the chilled pristine potatoes or the filet of fortunes, whatever it may be, it's actually going to be quite nice. But as he says here, if you ever have the time, could you go to the abandoned quarry and fish around for my speckled teacup? So that's something you're going to have to do. They also add some new NPCs. Actually, he is a brand new NPC right here. The guy who's jumping up and down like crazy. The next thing we need to talk about is here on the garden. There's some changes that are kind of controversial. I haven't tested them yet on the garden, so I don't know how terrible they are. But I haven't exactly heard glowing reviews about the changes. First thing, though, this actually, I think, is a good thing. We already have the Pest Hunter gloves, as you may know. It's best in slot when trying to spawn pests. I have it right over here. I already have Squeaky on it. I have it recommed. It's looking pretty good. They've now added the 3 other pieces to that equipment set, being the Pest Hunter's belt, Pest Hunter's cloak, and the Pest Hunter's necklace. Now, some things I can tell you about these items that they've already changed because they already put out patch notes for day 1 changes of the alpha. These will all be the rare rarity instead of uncommon, as well as they're buffing the bonus pest chance to plus 5% to plus 10%. And then also something that's kind of messing with pest rates is that they've made it all additive instead of it multiplying, is the gist from what I'm understanding. From all the changes, though, because there's a lot, like the Pest Hunter's Necklace is a 5% cooldown, Pest Fest 15%, this is the stuff they're going into for the best way to get max pest cooldown. Pest Hunter Gloves currently give 5%, that's going to be 10. The Belt, 10%. Squeaky Reforge gives another 10. Finnegan's Pest Eradicator perk gives 25% cooldown, so total being 65. I think that's going to be like 95 now, though, or 105. So maybe it's not an issue after these changes. But before, I was aware that it was like 80% slower to spawn pests or something crazy like that. So hopefully that's not the case, and they actually do rework it. Also over here, looks like they changed what it says above the mouse traps, which is pretty cool. And there's a release all pest buttons. That's pretty cool. It doesn't work, obviously, because I have 8 pests spawned here on the garden. But that is a very useful button to have instead of clicking them one by one. Yeah, overall, though, I don't think the changes are terrible as long as they don't completely grief pest farming into the ground. That is kind of the big scare, I guess you could say. So as long as that's not the case, I have no complaints. It's going to be one of those things where we kind of just have to test it on release and hope for the best. Also, of course, with a brand new equipment set being added to the game, all 4 of the brand new equipment pieces can be added to the museum for 1 Skyblock XP each, as well as the Squeaky Mouse Mat, which gives, I want to say, 7. I put it in here the other day when Alpha opened just to kind of test it out. I can't remember how. Oh, plus 6. It gives 6 Skyblock XP, so not terrible, but I mean, more Skyblock XP the better, so I will not complain. And that kind of leaves us into the next topic of dyes, because there's been a lot of dye RNG changes, basically. From they upped the rates of the dung dye from a field mouse to 1 in 50,000, which is good to see. Field mice are the hardest pests to get, honestly, by far, compared to how many you can get of some of the other ones. The other thing they did, though, is they basically added any dye that could be added to an RNG meter has been added. So if we do /RNG really quickly, we have the Experimentation Table 1 being the Nadeshiko dye. This is 2.5 million experimental XP. So I'm not sure actually how much enchanting XP that is, but you could get it by this way. So that's pretty cool to see. Then all the Slayer dies. We have the Matcha die. In Spire Slayer, we have the Brick Red die. Wolf Slayer, the Celeste. Then in Void Gloom, we have the Byzantium. In Vampire Slayer, we actually have the Sangria die, which is 1 in 750,000, which is kind of insane because I think there's only 3 people on the server who have more than 750,000 Vampire Slayer XP. So not going to be easy to drop this way, but I guess good to see it. I suppose. Not terrible. I don't know. That's kind of brutal. And then we have the Flame die, and all the other Slayer ones are 75 million Slayer XP to guarantee the drop, which is a little bit ridiculous, because for those of you who don't know, to max a Slayer at Slayer level 9 is 1 million. So you basically need to do that 75 times. So if I do all the Blaze Slayer I've ever done in this game 74 more times, I'm guaranteed a Flame die. So I guess it's nice to see that's guaranteed somewhere, but still a little bit insane. Then in M7 and Floor 7, we have the Necron die. Are these the same? Or sorry, only in M7 is the Necron die. And then I'm assuming only in M5 is the Livid die. Now, this is my one thing. I think they made the Livid die way too easy. It's literally as easy to get as a Shadow Fury, Last Breath, or 2 Shadow Assassin chest plates for a Livid die. Like, this is something I could genuinely, achievably go for. So I think this needs to be buffed. I think the rate of this isn't terrible, though. I mean, if you look at like a Necron's Handle or like a Dark Claymore, 416k, this is basically 10 times that for the Necron die. So I think this should be 10 times like all these other ones, and this should be like probably 978,000 score required, if I'm being honest. But maybe they'll keep it low and we'll actually get our hands on one. So we'll have to wait and see. And then in the Crystal Nucleus RNG meter, we also have the Jade die, which has been added, which is a 1 in 5 million or 5 million Nucleus XP to guarantee it, which is the same as dropping 5 Devon's alloys at meter. So pretty insane stuff, but I guess cool if you really want to go for the dies. You have a guaranteed way to get some of them. I mean, guaranteed, I guess, is a little bit of a stretch because it requires ungodly amounts of playtime and doing the same task over and over and over again. But I guess it's nice to see that some of them are more achievable than they were before. The last major content change that I want to talk about today is in the Crimson Isle. They've added a brand new equipment piece, a necklace that is called the Terra Shell Necklace. Now, this thing's actually really interesting. If we do recipe Terra so you guys can see how to craft it, it does require 4 enchanted red sand cubes, 4 enchanted mycelium cubes, 5 gazing pearls, but this item's really interesting because it makes it so you can no longer catch trophy fish while wearing this necklace. Now, you might be wondering, why would I ever want to do that? Once you max trophy fish, that's actually something you're going to want to basically rock every time you fish in here. I guess unless you're mob fishing, but there's like a way to get like infernal keys, nether stars. Like, you can fish up some pretty cool stuff from lava fishing now. And basically, if you're fishing nonstop and catching all these random trophy fish that you don't need, like, there's only so many blobfish that a player actually needs on the server. So this is a pretty cool way to be able to enjoy the brand new loot pool, I suppose, more properly and actually just fully avoid catching any trophy fish. So I think it's a cool change. I'll test it out. Maybe we'll catch some cool stuff. Maybe we won't. Kind of yet to be determined. But I think that's a really interesting change, and yeah, should lead to some different fishing that you can actually do in the Crimson Isle. And I changed the best change for last. They have buffed the drop chance of the radioactive vial from 0.3% to 0.5%, which is subtle, but it makes it a 1 in 200 drop, which means I should have dropped more than 2 of them by now. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Next time Carmine die goes in, or whichever one is the lava sea creature fishing one, I'll be going for it, and hopefully we get lucky and finally get our hands on this thing. The amount of hours I've put in is genuinely disgusting. I mean, what's kind of insane is, like, the best sea creature to get in the game is a Lord Jobus, or the highest level sea creature, and I'm currently 92nd on the server. I'm also now realizing this might just be alpha. Like, let me check some of these other ones. Okay, it might just be alpha. Or maybe it's not. Let me check on the main server. Okay, yeah, I'm 267th on the main server, but still, I'm top 300. And this is like something that 8.9 million players have at least one bestiary of. So we're in the top 300, which is not something I wanted to be near the top of the leaderboard for. So hopefully we can get that soon and just be done with it, because my goodness, I'm so tired of lava sea creature fishing. It's literally the only thing I need besides the dies, and I'm not going for the dies. So little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, though, that is all the time I have for today's video. Just wanted to quickly hop on and talk about the new alpha changes. And tomorrow, hopefully, we are back to regularly scheduled programming. I've been up to a little bit of grinding, mainly a lot of farming. So I've got some kind of updates for you guys on that, as well as an item that I was grinding for before I got sick. So if you're excited for that and you don't want to miss it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Use code Zach whenever you do find yourself checking out on the Hypixel store, especially for that brand new fire sale that is happening the day you guys are seeing today's video. So let me know in the comments down below if you pick it up. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.